What's up, everybody? Barry Fisherman, and today I'm going to be explaining partial of my supply and demand strategy I've been using for the last 2 years. Um, Learned this strategy from Doyle Exchange around 2022, and ever since then, been trying to perfect it and been trading on my own for the last 2 years. So let's get right into it. So when looking for a supply and demand, when looking for a supply and demand, you're looking for a break of structure to the up or downside. Say right here, right? You have a break of structure. Initially we're going down, 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 down. And then we break structure right here. As you can see, we're going down, 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 up. We're above this area right here, right? Cool. Let's see if I, okay. Yep. So we broke the high here. This is the new high. Break of structure. So what the supply and demand zone looks like is what you have right here. Right, so as you can see, we are going up, and there is a up is green, down is red for my setup. We have a red candle right here, and then we break structure to the upside. So if price were to come down and touch into this purple box right here in this zone, I'll be looking for an entry. Right, so my entry would be at the bottom of the zone to a 1-to-1. Right. One to one. But as you see, price only stopped right here, never touched the zone. So this would be an invalid setup, right? So we will scratch all that and keep looking for setups later in the day. So let me scroll back and see a good setup. Here's a trade I took Tuesday. Now let's look at this trade. The trade I took Tuesday. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Okay, this setup was on the 15-minute. So as you see here, had a break of structure, we were going down, and then this was probably the last smart miner high, I would call it. Let's make this change this color. Going down, structure, going up, boom, break of structure, right? Being that we're on the downtrend, I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to continue up and just blast and go all the way straight up. So I'm thinking of a 1-to-1. So that's what I did. So the actual demand zone was a 15-minute right here. All right. So tapped into this 15-minute demand zone, break a structure to the upside. So I scale in on the 5-minute for my entry. Problem is, when I took this trade, I wanted to get in at the break of candle after this red candle right here. So ended up getting in the trade up here because price was moving. I think I changed my screen because I traded on my phone. By the time I look back, price was already up here. So I got in a little bit late. So got in right here, went for a 1-on-1 as you can see. 1-on-1, hit 1-on-1. I believe this wick put me in profit. And that was that trade. But as you can see, it never touched this 5-minute demand zone. This can be a little tricky because sometimes, as you can see, price went all the way up, literally stopped. Almost like I knew exactly what was going to happen before it happened, but that's not the case. Um, Hit here and started going a completely different direction, right? Didn't even touch the 5-minute demand zone here, which would have been a very clean setup, right? We're above the 200 MA. We're just breaking over it. Breaking structure overall with these two lines right here, as you see, breaking structure going to up, going from bearish to bullish. And let me show it on the line chart. As you can see, looks a little less noisy, but as you can see, breaking structure right here easily. But yeah, so hit my TP, went the other direction. Now, say I didn't take this trade. Let's delete all this stuff. But this strategy, there's always going to be more opportunities on the 5 minute. So don't feel like you're going to miss out every single time in your day is wrong, or you got to rush into a trade. Or I took this trade just because I've seen these patterns so many times that now I kind of know or what to expect, right? Same thing with anything else. Same thing with playing basketball. You shoot the same jumper every time. You know, if you twist your wrist or your feet not planted or you're leaning to the left or right, you know the ball's gonna come out a certain way, right? Same thing with trading. People like to compare trading to gambling, and that's not the case at all, right? If that was true, people wouldn't be able to really make money. There's the market is repeating the same patterns over and over again, right? With sports gambling, it's very ambiguous. You got injuries, you got tendonitis, you got coaching, you got you got the actual players, you know what I mean? People selling the game for gambling purposes, you know what I mean? Shaving points. You don't even know what's going on. And the market shows you everything that's going on. It's the patterns. Like in order for the market to move, somebody really with a lot of power and money will have to sell all their shares of something like Apple and crumble the market, which they're not going to do. So, with that being said, let's get back into it. Let's say go replay mode. Start new. So, like I was saying, you don't have to rush into trades, right? Perfect demand zone was right here. See, this was a demand zone, but we're also coming from a overall bullish trend. So I don't believe it's going to be, uh, uh, overall bearish trend. So I don't think the trend is going to change just so fast. And also, too, I don't want to be the one predicting that it's going to be. All right, as you see, and the market's very choppy. Look at all these candles. They're like the same size, red, green, red, green. There's no true direction. Like, yeah, overall, but look at these This is 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes just right here in this space. Then it finally does another 10 minutes and you're still kind of in the same space. Another 15, it finally drops. And that takes 15 minutes after the 15 minutes previously. It's a lot of time in the market for scalping purposes. I'm a scalper. So back to over here. See, markets is going back and forth right now. Kind of like consolidation. We're waiting for a break of structure. See right here, what I'm thinking, the red line is a 200 EMA. If you don't know what a 200 EMA is, basically a moving average of price. So people use a 200 EMA to find the overall direction of price. Just another indicator. But that doesn't mean you take trades off of it. I don't take trades off indicators. All right, once it does this, one or two things. We have a demand zone here. We have an extreme blast of price going upwards. I'm going to get in. But I'm also skeptical. Like I said before, we're on an overall bearish trend, right? So let's see what happens. It goes up a little bit, but we're still around the 200 EMA. A lot of friction. Red candle. I'm getting in for the sell. This might seem risky, high risk, but to me, because it did all this after touching this 15-minute demand zone here and immediately going the other way, I'm going for a 1-to-1 right here. Probably put it above this zone. Maybe not, maybe above this candle, depending how this candle moves and the next candle after it. But if it blasts to here and it starts pushing and it drops, that's what I want to see. So let's mark our zone. And this is a supply. Supply is a sell, right? So supply means we're going down. We have a green candle. And the way you draw your zone, we're really looking at this green candle. But because there's a wick right next to it, we're going to combine the zone, right? Entry point will be break of candle, meaning the candle that after price touches this zone, after price breaks the previous candle going in the direction we want to, that's our entry point. So initially, let's say I go this in 1-to-1. Boom. All right. Hopefully we could get in right there. That would be perfect. Let's say we didn't want to have a big stop loss. We just wanted to see price hit a 1-to-1 as fast as possible. We get in and out of the market. We could be in and out of the market and go about our day. See what happens next candle. Bingo. We're good. Now, $300. That's what I'm risking every trade right now on my funded account. $300. I'm done. Go back to doing what I was doing for the rest of the day. I'm very good. So that's kind of a good intro, I think, for the people that's wanting to trade or want to be contemplating strategies or how to look at the market, how to reprice. But yeah, if you want to learn more, you can join my Discord. I'm going to be putting it in the description. And if you have any questions, just DM me on Futures with Barry Fisherman on Instagram. With that being said, Barry Fisherman, I'm out.